between Hekari United and AS Magenta, and you could be forgiven for thinking that this was 7 o'clock in the evening. It's actually 4 p.m. and the clouds have drifted over the top of Govan Park. The rain is falling, we've had thunder, a little bit of lightning, and as you can see, the floodlights are on, illuminating this match, which has been dubbed the Dance of the Desperate. Hekari United and AS Magenta. There are no tomorrows for the losing team. One of these sides, if they want to progress to the semi-finals, they must win. We witnessed Bar defeating Tawhai 4-0, and we have an exciting match in store for you, brought to you by Court, Sports World and Vodafone. So some hardy souls have braved the conditions. You can see there John Capinato of Hekari United on the far right, but that rain is falling steadily, and it's perhaps fortunate we only have 3 more games to go in this group. But we are in Fiji. It is a wonderful country and a wonderful holiday destination.
Doing, tackling each other, that's what. Well, Krishna, the first Fijian to play in a senior FIFA tournament.
So the two teams are on their way out. This is bound to be an absolute cracker of a match. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, your commentator. It's my privilege to describe the action for you this afternoon. And if you were wondering whether or not the club from your country was going to make it, stand by. The semi-final door is swinging shut. Bar sit top of the group with 6 points. Both these sides lost their opening match, and it's AS Magenta who sit in third place, having lost 2-0, and Hekari, who were beaten 3-1. As ever, the OFC partnership with UNICEF Pacific is always active in promoting the Kick Dengue Out of Fiji campaign, and there will be a minute's silence observed for the late Toiatu Petana, the president of the Samoa Football Federation, who sadly passed away yesterday. All of our thoughts are with his family. So the solemnity of the moment observed, and as if we hadn't had enough sad news in the Pacific of late with the Solomon Islands flooding disaster, and now the passing of Toiatu Petana. Well, in terms of competitive action, that doesn't stop. Hekari and AS Magenta have never previously met in the OFC Champions League. They do today, and the stakes could not be higher. The referee is Gerald Oyaka of the Solomon Islands, Rakesh Chandra of Fiji, and Norbert Hoata of Tahiti. Massive game for them as well. Norbert Hoata, at the centre right of your picture, is off to the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. He will be part of the support group representing Oceania at the FIFA World Cup. So let's take a look at the lineups. Upcoming matches, AS Pirae against Kiwi FC. That's looming as a very important match, as is AS Dragon and Auckland City. Dragon must get a win off the reigning champions in tough and Magenta play. As you can see, Waitakere Pirae top of their group, Auckland Amicale top of Group B, and Bar with 1 foot in the semi-finals. So much depends, though, on the outcome of this match between Hekari and Magenta. So the Hekari lineup has had a few changes. David Mutta is inserted into the team, and the goals of Kemajak will be sought after as they try to get their first win here. It's very much a 4-4-2 formation. Peter Baliatonga has switched from centre half to striker, with Nigel Dabinyaba on the right. For AS Magenta, coach Alain Moisin has gutted his entire back four. Jean-Paul Wakanumene is in, Poirot Jaloued, John-Paul Reid, and Jean Jouenet. The formation, a 4-2-3-1 that is spearheaded by OFC Player of the Year 2011, Bertrand Kai, who makes his OFC Champions League debut. So the scene is set. And Alain Moisin has also elected to start Olivier Dokonengo. He came off the bench in the first game. Ben Bernard Herve also gets a start. So it's very much an experimental side for Alain Moisin, particularly at the back. But he's got goals and penetration in the form of Bertrand Kai. He was the top goal scorer at the South Pacific Games in 2011, Bertrand Kai. And he was on target during that magnificent win over New Zealand's All Whites at the OFC Nations Cup. There he is in your picture, the man with the dreadlocks. Magenta's hopes rest on those shoulders. There is Daniela Wanga, a well-known figure here in Fijian football. He was a big part of the SPG side that finished runners-up at the 2007 Games. Now playing his football for Hekari. So we're underway. The champions of Papua New Guinea against the champions of New Caledonia, and the stakes could not be higher. Dabinyaba. Oh, he's beaten his man already. Dabinyaba gets across in. Oh, and it's off the line. An early scare for Magenta. The surface conditions are slippery. We've had rain since midway through the first match today. It is treacherous underfoot for players who are wearing the shorter stud. So it was almost a tragic start straight away for Magenta. Here's Dabinyaba's cross. He beats the first man, lofts it over with the right foot, and it was almost onto the head of Peter Baliatonga. Jelen Exui will be most relieved to see that go wide. Korea Kupainga for Hekari, making his 26th appearance in the OFC Champions League, Upainga. Waroi, the Solomon Islander, Daniel Joe. So Jerry Allen has really shuffled his pack today. Dabinyaba really impressed in the opening match for Hekari, and that's why he's starting this match. Very capable of popping up with the odd goal or two, but you saw from the opening exchanges how much of a threat he poses from wide areas as a chief supplier. Here's Wanga for Upainga. Clip round the corner. David Mutta, he's given it straight to Bertrand Kai. Wajoka Noel Cowdra. Now Poatinda. Not sure whether that was intended for Bertrand Kai. Tani Alawanga dealt with it. He's marshalling his troops. Hekari are going to need every ounce of his experience. Dokanengo off the thigh. Jean-Paul Wakanumene. Dokanengo. Wajoka. Cowdra. Given back to Upainga. That's too cheaply given away. They can't afford to do that. Wakanumene all the way back to his keeper. Cleared by Iksui. Upainga straight into Poatinda. Well, this is Tony Alawanga's 14th match for his OFC Champions League career. He started out primarily as a left back for the national team with Fiji. Jean-Paul Reid for Dokanengo. Well, he's given it away, Dokanengo. Problems here for Magenta. Kemajak's cross. The goalkeeper, Iksui, didn't really know too much about that. There wasn't very much communication going on between he and Jean-Paul Wakanumene, and that's perhaps understandable given how brand new that back four is. You can see here how Kemajak gets to the byline and whips over that ball. It was bending away, and Jean Géouenet just leaned into it, and Iksui dived for it at the same time. Anything could have happened. We saw examples of that in the match between Auckland and Nandi. And Bertrand Kai is penalised for holding on to his opponent, Brian Kaltak. It's quite surprising to realise that Bertrand Kai has never previously played in the OFC Champions League. It is something of a habit in New Caledonian football for players from the national team to remain loyal to their clubs. There isn't a lot of moving around. You will not genuinely find an enclave of national team players all cemented into one of these clubs. Bertrand Kai has in the past preferred to play for teams from the outer islands rather than the likes of Mondor or Magenta, but it's a first here. Alain Moison has got a lot of faith in Kai. So far, Hekari looking the sharper of the two. With Bar winning by 4-0, they're sitting top of this group with 6 points. 6 goals for, none against. It's going to take a big win today for one of these teams to dislodge Bar. And part of that equation is going to require the winner of this game to give Bar something of a beating. Now, that match, without preempting anything too much, well, no offside flag. Kemajak, still going, Jack, cuts it back. Oh, and Balantong has missed it. Tanito, long range shot, good effort by David Mutta. David Mutta, who plays a lot of his football in the Sunshine Coast. It was Mbaliatonga who missed it initially, and then Mutta received the layback from Tutizama Tanito and blazed it wide. Jean-Paul Reid. Well, they can ill afford to keep doing that, Magenta, giving the ball away cheaply. And Hekari guilty of the same thing. Well, it's all rather messy and scrappy at the moment. Neither team able to hold on to the ball for extended periods. Upainga's header. Tanito, Mutta. Mutta again. Still going. Still going. Needs help. gets it on this right-hand side. The cross wound in. It's not a good one. Easy for Magenta to defend, but they're struggling to get out of their own backline. David Mutta trying to find Davin Yaba. Perhaps these conditions are going to take a little bit of getting used to for both teams. Launched forward by Pero Jalawed. Bernard Herve leaving it. Bertrand Kai is offside. Well, straight long balls are going to be something of a difficulty for Bertrand Kai. As soon as it hits the surface, it's going to skid through to the goalkeeper. So we're going to restart with a free kick. Wanga launches it long. Clean win by Jean-Paul Reid. Upainga. Tanito, who had a real mixed bag on the opening day, scoring an own goal and getting another from the penalty spot. Bernard Herve releases Bertrand Kai down this left, and Daniel Joe with some good defending. He had plenty of cover in behind, and Brian Kaltak was tracking. Bernard Herve. Cross comes in. Oh, it's eluded both Kaltak and Wanga. Upainga was there to help. Now Balatonga. Still going. He's through. Oh, and he's knocked it over the top. Two chances for Pitam Balatonga. And he's been unable to capitalise on either. He got the better of his defender, Wakanumene, and then he glided past Jean-Paul Reid using his strength, but he just couldn't keep the ball down. Real concerns for the Magenta back four. They're getting a stern examination. How Jerry Allen must wish those chances had fallen to Kemmer Jack. He's got this impressive goal-scoring record. Mutta on the break. Upainga on the overlap. Kemmer Jack's in the box. Magenta provide the cover, but they're getting opened up on a regular basis. There's an example of it. Upainga. They look hesitant, Magenta. Hekari starting to find their form. They're looking really good at the moment. Good cross. Jean-Paul Wakanumene heads it back to the goalkeeper, Exui. And a chance for the French-speaking team to recalibrate. They've been on the back foot from almost the first whistle. Now Kai. One-on-one with Kaltak. That's a wild effort by Bertrand Kai. Bernard Herve was steaming up on the left-hand side. There was no realistic opportunity to cross for Bertrand Kai. Pierre Wajoka was some way from that phase of play. Very interesting pass. And as you can see here, Kai sets himself, but it lacked any authenticity. It was never going to get anywhere near Leslie Kalai in the Hekari goal. Kai. Can't get the better of Upainga. Daniel Joe's long ball is, well, it's through, in fact. Jean-Paul Wakanumene is forced into a foul. He misjudged it and was forced into taking down Kemmer Jack. And a little nod of the head in acknowledgement. Kemmer Jack, a fisherman from just outside Port Moresby, got the better of Jean-Paul Wakanumene. And it's a free kick for Hekari. David Mutta, Taniela Wanga are both capable of delivering quality from set plays. Who might their target be? Kemmer Jack would definitely be one. Pitam Balatonga is the other. Nigel Dabinyama's in around the D. Tutazama and Tanito lurking on the edge of the penalty area as well. Bertrand Kai's come back to provide some cover. Wanga is asking for the wall to go back just a little bit further. And Joachim Waroi is making an overlapping run. So what can Hekari produce from this opportunity? Wanga winds it in. It's a good one. Oh, and he's missed it. 3 chances for Pitambali Atonga. 3 misses. Are they going to be costly? It was a very, very good free kick by Taniela Wanga. Oh, dear me. He's not put any direction on the header. He looked grateful to have just got in front. Tanito, he's robbed this back four. Tanito's still going, can't keep it in. Encouraging signs for the Papua New Guinea champions. Well, playing like this, AS Magenta don't look a semi-final side. But Baliatonga is offside. Shakes his head. It's been an interesting opening 14 minutes. Will Hekari rue those misses? We'll have to keep watching and see. Long ball forward for Kai. He's won the header. Bernard Irv can't find a blue shirt. Upainga. It's all rather frenetic and rushed in midfield. Kemajak. Mutta. Mutta again. Upainga. Hekari really looking good tonight. Wanga. Joachim Waroi. Oh, wonderful ball by Waroi. Flag stays down. He's onside. Too good for Zhewin. Gets the cross in. Nobody there. Jean-Paul Wakanumene forced to put it out for a corner. Well, the only point of criticism you can make at this point is that Hekari's attackers are just not hitting that goal box with enough conviction to put some of these opportunities away. Tanito will take the corner. The delivery's good. Cowdra got his head on it. Dokanengo comes away. Poirot, Jalawid's clearance earns a corner. Earns a throw-in. There is Jerry Allen, just having a look at his stopwatch. You can see Ronnie Capinato in the background, looking pensive, urging his team on. That one title back in 2010 is the high water mark. Oh, and there's a problem. Bertrand Kai picked the pocket of Brian Kaltak, who responds by bringing the New Caledonian striker down. There's no hard feelings there. Concept of fair play very much to the fore. Look, Bertrand Kai just won the ball off him, got a couple of yards, and Brian Kaltak had to do what the situation demanded. So, the free kick is some 35 metres out. Leslie Carli thinks enough of the distance to employ a wall of 4. Pierre Wajoka stands over the ball. More than capable of scoring from this sort of distance, Wajoka. He's only managed to do that twice, though, in the OFC Champions League. This is his 17th appearance. Can he add a third goal to that statistic? Oh, it's just over. Not far away from Pierre Wajoka. 35 years of age, he retired from international football. Gets it over the wall, but just over the crossbar as well. Yellow card about to be produced. Pitambalatonga is in the book. He is a very physical player, Pitambalatonga. He's been involved in all the key moments of this match so far. He started at centre half in the first game and now finds himself up front. So this is the infringement that's been picked up. He's jumped and yes, he's put his elbow straight into the face of Jean-Paul Wakanumene. That's a yellow card. Well spotted by the referee, Joel Doyaka. Ball launched forward. Upanga. Players slipping all over the place at the minute. Balatonga of Hekari United, yellow carded. 20th match in the OFC Champions League for him. He's only scored 3 goals. So Jerry Allen must have a master plan up his sleeve. Certainly would have liked Kema Jack to be on the end of some of these chances earlier. Balatonga perhaps there to provide the muscle. We've seen evidence of it. Good ball by Dokanengo. Piero Jaloued with a cross. Corner for Magenta. It is. Well played by Piero Jaloued. So important in this formation for the fullbacks to provide attacking width. 20 minutes gone. Hekari 0, AS Magenta 0. Hoisted in. Oh, Kalai couldn't take it first time. Dokanengo might fancy a shot. An opportunity to cross. It goes low and flat into the near post. It's another corner for Magenta. The New Caledonians knocking on the door. And I spoke earlier about whether or not Hekari would come to rue those missed chances in the opening 20 or so minutes. Let's see if AS Magenta can punish them. Cross comes in. Oh, it's an opportunity. Oh, dear me. Dear, oh dear. Jean Géouenet is yellow carded, and quite rightly. That was an awful challenge. You can see here the opportunity was there for the ball to be hit first time. The first touch was no good. And it's Balatonga who goes down in a heap. In truth, looking at it a second time, you might well have milked that, but nevertheless, Jean Géouenet in your picture there really could have done much better. Wanga. Muta tidies up. Korea Kupanga puts it back into the mix. Poatinda does some tidying up of his own. Cowdra can't find Kai. Upanga. Well, this ball is very difficult to hold on to. Hekari just starting to slip off their game. The early domination they were enjoying is ebbing away. And it's a team in all blue against a team in all red. Starts to find their feet. Dokanengo. Jaloued. Dokanengo. Wajoka. Dokanengo. Jaloued. He had an opportunity to find Bertrand Kai with a first-time pass. He didn't spot him. Keltak. Useful ball. Balatonga into the penalty area. He needs help. Tanito. Shot off target. Tutuzama Tanito. He's had a quiet game so far. Tanito. Devin Yaba set up the opportunity for Balatonga. He kept his head, though, to his credit. He set this chance up for Tanito, but he didn't get it quite cleanly enough to trouble Exui. "23 minutes gone. OFC Champions League Group C, live from Govan Park and Bar. Hekari United 0, AS Magenta 0. The dance of the desperate. The losing team will be going home. Out of the Champions League. The team who wins has got a lifeline. Hekari's going to be hoping it's them. They face Bar on Sunday at this ground. And a big win here today, combined with a big win on Sunday, could just see them sneak through. Bar would not be completely out of the running. With 6 points, they could well find themselves as the best runner-up. A lot of football to be played before we can confirm any of that sort of speculation, though. Cowdrey. Pierre Wajoka. Oh, he's taken out. Gerald Oyaka says he got the ball. Poatinda. Tutuzama Tanito doing some defending. You don't often see him back there. Solomon Islander comes away with it, still going. Now Upainga. Tanito. Balatonga, lovely play. Mutta, oh, he's given it away, David Mutta. It looked like the start of a very promising move, but it broke down in the key area of the pitch, midfield. Jean-Paul Wakanumene. Picked up on the far side by Hekari, but they can't manufacture anything creative. Dokanengo, Poatinda, Noel Caldra looks for a switch of play for Bernard Irv. Again, these sorts of long passes aren't doing players any favours. As soon as they're bouncing off the ground, they're just skidding away. Very difficult to control them unless you get them first time. Long ball launch forward, Kemajak just off the back of Jean-Paul Reid. Tanito, he's round one. Tries to link it up with Kemajak, but Jean-Paul Wakanumene is to the rescue for Magenta. A good pace to this one so far. Upainga. Balatonga. Dear me, he's not having a good game so far, Peter Balatonga. Perhaps some clue as to why his match goal statistics are as they read. 20 matches and only 3 goals. Tanito. Mutta. Robbed by Dokanengo. Wajoka for Kai. He's had to live off scraps, Bertrand Kai, so far. But he is used to playing up front on his own for the national team, and Alain Moison, as the ex-national team coach, has employed the AS Magenta side in that same formation, 4-5-1. Brian Keltack taken out of the play by Wajoka. It looked a more than fair challenge by the veteran. Oh, he's through. He was onside as well, but just the weight of the pass from Dokanengo left Bernard Irv far too much to do. Leslie Carlai playing in the sweeping role perfectly. Well, Pierre Wajoka's gone to check on the health of Brian Keltack. It was a heavy challenge, hard but fair. I don't think there was any doubt about Wajoka's intensity and fairness in the challenge. We've seen some pretty rough challenges in this tournament. And Brian Keltack came into this tournament carrying an injury. He seems to be in some discomfort. It all began when Upainga opted to pass this ball back to Caltech, and there you see Wajoka made a clean connection with the ball, but it's what happened further up Brian Caltech's leg that may be of concern, especially if it's a knee injury. He has had problems with his knee in the past. And in fact, the stretcher has been called for, so this isn't good news for Hekari or Brian Caltech. He's up on his feet. Gerald Doyaka is running a check on the status of the player. And the stretcher bearers are running off the pitch on the other side. But Caltech's going to get some treatment anyway. So Hekari, for the moment, are down to 10. So we're in the 28th minute. Hekari United 0, AS Magenta 0. A draw here this evening is no good for both sides. They would effectively eliminate each other from the running, and it would require Tawhia to thrash Magenta in the final match and then hope that Hekari can beat Bar so that it would turn into a head-to-head scenario on goal difference. Although having said that, with Bar's crushing 4-0 win today on the head-to-head, there would only be one outcome there. Dabinyaba. He had Tanito to his left, but as you can see, there's a sea of blue shirts in that vicinity. Dokaningo spreads it wide to Poatinda. Kai comes short for the ball. Poatinda holds on to it. Nolkaudra, again the long ball. It's not going to open up a defence today. Any long pass with a bit of weight on it that bounces is destined to go through to the goalkeeper. Let's have a look and see how far that ball goes. Well, it's offside. We won't have to. So Brian Caltech is going to have to be substituted. Hekari have acted swiftly. There may be some tactical reshuffling required by Jerry Allen. Tani Alawanga is capable of playing anywhere along the back four. And it's Nicholas Murray who's thrown on. So Balatonga will go back to centre half. This could be a blessing in disguise for Hekari, without being disrespectful to Brian Caltech. Balatonga was very much off form in front of goal, and he may just prefer a shift at the back for Hekari tonight. Muri will go up front with Kema Jack. Jiwane. Jean-Paul Reid. Wakanumene. Dokanengo. Lovely pass by Dokanendo. Bernard Irv can't get the better of Daniel Joe. Good play this from Hekari. Just over half an hour gone. Still 0-0 here at Govan Park, if you've just joined us. Murray. Mutta. Poatinda's header goes to Wajoka. Played back for Cowdra. Poatinda with a wild clearance. Tanito. Still Tanito into the penalty area. He's pulled back. He's got a corner. And those are the areas that Tanito will want to try and force those Magenta players into taking him. Poatinda was pretty casual with the clearance, but as soon as Tanito gets into the penalty area, there's always that chance that a defender will take him down. Corner taken. Cleared by Bernard Irv. Tani Alawanga back into the mix. And out harmlessly for a goal kick. Kemajak has a long-range effort. It was more in hope than expectation. But when you've got a goal-scoring record like he has, it's probably worth having a go. Kemajak has played at a FIFA Club World Cup before, when Hekari qualified in 2010 and they were beaten 3-0 by El Wada. Joe for Mutta. David Mutta hasn't really been at his best so far in this game. Nice little touches here and there, but hasn't influenced a game like he's capable of doing. In fact, there's some very fine ball players out there if you include Dokanengo and Wajoka. Muri releases Dabinyaba. Can he get a good cross? And he can. It's cut out just in the nick of time by Jean-Paul Reed. Great defending from Jean-Paul Reed. Muri released Dabinyaba here on the right. His first touch was decent enough. He looks up and spots Kemajak in the middle, and Jean-Paul Reed got there just in time for AS Magenta. Corner from Tanito. It's a good one, punched by Exui. Joe. Crossfield ball is headed away by Reed. A chance for Bertrand Kai on the counter-attack. He's dangerous from these areas, especially in the slick surface. Upainga, Mutta. Spotted Murray's run. It was cut out by Jumane. Balatonga elects to play it safe. Kai showed too much of the ball to Tani Alawanga. Jean-Paul Reed. Joachim Warui. Tanito pops up on the right flank. Bernard Irv picks it up for Magenta. Well, it's been the story of this half. Teams just turning over possession with alarming regularity. Warui spots Jack just in behind Wakanumene, who used his strength to hold off the striker. Well played, Magenta. They do knock it around nicely in the tight. Balatonga wins the ball off Bertrand Kai. Poatinda's got it back for Magenta. Dabinyaba on the left-hand side. Well, Jumane flew into that tackle. He's already on a yellow card. He's got to be careful, because if he throws himself around like that and mistimes it, the next thing that will happen is Gerald Doyak will be forced to show him a second yellow and then a red. Have a look at this here. He takes a big risk with that lunge. If he misses the ball, he's going to take out Dabinyaba. And look, Nigel Dabinyaba asks the referee, what's going on there? He's got a free kick in any case. Poatinda and Jouanet make up a two-man wall. Nicholas Murray is standing on the edge of the box. There are three Hekari players at the far post. Balatonga. Tani Alawanga. It's a good ball in. Bernard Irv had to be at his best. He did enough to put Nicholas Murray off the header. Murray is also a FIFA beach soccer player, having appeared for the Bilakiki boys. That may well have even been a corner. Oh well, referees are human too. Dokanengo. Wajoka. Now that's a clever weighted pass. Leslie Carli. Oh, it's a deliberate handball. It's outside the box. It's a goal scoring opportunity. Carli is in big, big trouble. He appeared to punch it with both hands outside the penalty area. He's got to talk to the keeper. This could be awful news for Leslie Carli and Hekari. He's off. Leslie Carli's evening is over. Hekari down to 10 players. Sensational moment in this match. It could be a turning point in the OFC Champions League for the Papua New Guineans. They look to be on top for large parts of this first half, and now Leslie Carli is red carded. He knows that he had to be sent off. The rule book is very clear. It was a masterful ball by Wajoka. Take a look at that. It's the first forward ball we've seen that's been measured cleanly by anyone, and then Carli punched. You just cannot do that. It may well cost his team dearly. He's a top quality goalkeeper, Leslie Carli. He performed admirably at the OFC Nations Cup in 2012 for his country. But this evening, he's turned villain. It's a long, sad walk back to the dressing room. You won't meet a nicer person either, Leslie Carli. It's a tragedy for the goalkeeper. He was one of the few standout performers for Hekari in the opening game. And the new goalkeeper is going to be called into action straight away. Godfrey Benial. So Godfrey Benial is on, and my goodness, it's Kema Jack who's come off. So in a game that Hekari were looking to score goals through Kema Jack, they're now looking to stop them. And Godfrey Benial is going to be called into action immediately. He sets the wall. This is in such a good position. Noel Cowdray stands over it. If I were Alain Moison, I would be inclined to get Pierre Wajoka taking this. But Cowdray fancies his chances. Every player in a red shirt is in that wall. There's one Magenta player there. Poetinda to the left. Sorry, Poetinda to the right, and Ben Bernard to the left. Cowdray slams it into the wall. Hekari survived that moment. Advantage is swinging back into the favour of the New Caledonians. You wouldn't have thought it in the first couple of minutes of this match, but Hekari have had so many changes forced on them. Brian Keltak red carded. Sorry, Brian Keltak injured, and Leslie Carli, the goalkeeper, red carded. Now that's going to open up a lot of space for Magenta to play the ball around. They could even afford to throw an extra player up front, so I wonder if Alain Moison is thinking the same. Hekari's Champions League hopes dangling here in Bar. You can just see that Hekari now have broken 10 metres deeper into their own half than they were for much of the start of the game. It's really changed the complexion of this match. Magenta have got a lifeline, a Champions League lifeline. Cross comes in, taken by Benial. Upainga wins the header. Noel Cowdray goes head to head with Upainga. It's hoisted forward by Balatonga. Wakanumene will head back to Iksui. So let's not forget, a reminder that if these two teams draw, they're both out of the competition. Magenta now must be favoured to go on and get a victory. Will it be enough, though, to see them through to the semi-finals? Their final game's against Tawhia, who we saw beaten heavily 4-0. If Magenta are to win this game, they've got to win it well also. 1-0 won't probably be enough. It's all got a lot easier for Magenta. Jean-Paul Wakanumene. Wajoka dropping deeper now to receive the ball. Cardra. Elects to go long. Well picked out by Taniela Wanga. It's a Fijian centre-half partnership now for Hekari. They're going to have to play this one clever, the Papua New Guineans. That's a good ball. Dabinyaba is through. The shot wide. Good chance by Hekari. Squandered. Dabinyaba is going to be the key to getting a goal for Hekari, one would think. He's got plenty of pace and he does have a goal-scoring record of sorts. He has been deployed in wide midfield positions in the past, but he's also appeared as a striker for the under-23 side. Today is his 8th OFC Champions League match. He's only scored once in this competition. That's a good ball by Wajoka. It's covered off by Wanga. Here he is again, Wajoka. Bernard Herve does well to lay off to Poatinda. That's a lazy pass from the veteran Poatinda. He's got away with it. Wakanumene's header, only as far as Mutta. Bernard Herve starting to do some good pickpocketing in and around this midfield. It's more congested with blue shirts and red. Poatinda got a heavy one in the side of the head. Might have been an elbow. Mutta. Tanito. Lovely play from him. Nicholas Murray sees the move break down. Caldra. Wajoka. Oh, that is superb from Pierre Wajoka. So the regulation 45 minutes are up. It's been an eventful first half. That's a good ball. Dabinyaba giving chase. He's going to need a hand in the middle. They're short of numbers. Nicholas Murray is the only red shirt in the penalty box. Magenta. Well played, Koryoki Painga. Balatonga. Wanga. Dokanengo. Cowdra. Patient build-up from AS Magenta. Well, Dokanengo and Wajoka just keep this Magenta midfield ticking over, don't they? 68 years of age combined between Wajoka and Dokanengo, but the class is ageless. Well, Alan Moison, the Magenta coach, is going to be a lot more satisfied now than he was. Bania's off his line this time. Well, Hekari can ill afford to lose the second goalkeeper. But these measured chipped passes in are forcing the goalkeeper off his line each and every time to behave like a sweeper. Poatinda. Cowdra. Jimenez's header only as far as Tanito. Mutta. Tanito, Mutta. Tanito. Balatonga pushing forward. He's going to have to do that a bit more often than he might have liked. Nicholas Muri. Oh, and the terrible pass from Muri. Hasn't really got the pace of the game yet, Nicholas Muri. Bertrand Kai is in the middle. Poatinda. Wajoka. Chipped in for Kai, away by Upainga. Mutta on the ball. Can't find Muri. Daminyaba. Can Hekari produce a shock moment before the end of the first half? Well, they play backwards. Hekari. There it is. Half time. What a compelling 45 minutes of action that was. Despite the goalless scoreline at the moment. Hekari United 0, AS Magenta 0. It's been fascinating stuff to watch as 10-man Hekari, minus Leslie Carli, who was sent off, minus Brian Keltak, who was stretchered off, find themselves with just 10 players. AS Magenta, however, are finding Hekari a tough nut to crack nevertheless. Let's look back at highlights from the first half. Daminyaba got the first cross of the match in. Taniela Wangazuking on the edge of the box, but Pita Baliatonga was the one who missed it. He had another opportunity shortly after. Kema Jack was the provider. Swing and a miss from Balatonga. And then this long-range shot from David Mutta was well wide. Another chance offered itself to the Fijian striker, and he lofted it high over the top. And then his fourth effort was just as wide. So it was a string of missed opportunities. Here was another. Balatonga has the pace, he just hasn't been able to get shots on target. And then Tanito missed that chance. He got another opportunity, and then some good defending here from Jean-Paul Reid. Murray's header was miscued. And then this key moment from the game was Joka popping in a lovely ball. Leslie Carli came out and punched it outside the box and received a red card. He carried down to 10. They battled on gamely though. Nigel Daminyaba had an effort, but he's lofted it high over the bar. So half-time, Hekari 0, AS Magenta 0. Rejoin us after the break for the second half. So, welcome back to a rain-drenched Govan Park and Bar. It's Hekari 0, AS Magenta 0. A few hardy souls dotted about the stadium. Keen to see some OFC Champions League football action. And why don't we do the same and have a look at the highlights of the first half. First opportunity fell to Peter Balatonga. Couldn't quite get on the edge of it. Kemajak then turned provider again. Cuts it back. Balatonga misses it altogether. Tanito tees it up for David Mutta and he schlaffs his shot wide of the target. Balatonga was in the action again, couldn't get that one on target, and then he couldn't get this one on target either. Piwajoka went close with a free kick. Brian Kaltak chipped this pass in to release Dabanyaba, who spotted Balatonga on his left, threaded a pass through to the Fijian. He takes control of it, tees it back for the Solomon Islander, Turizama Tanito, and he shoots wide. The two Solomon Islanders, Muri and Tanito, combined again, but Jean-Paul Reid, the defender, got in front of the Solomon Islander. And then this opportunity from Nicholas Muri was well off target. Then a key moment of action in the first half. Wajoka's through ball, punched by Leslie Kalai, a good distance outside his penalty area. Referee Joel Doyaka produced a red card. And Dabanyaba missing the target too. So a couple of supporters there reading the OFC Champions League match program. You can download the OFC Champions League tournament program from www.oceaniafootball.com. Click under the fans tag and you will see it there as a PDF. So just Mario, if AS Magenta and Hekari draw, they'll both be eliminated today. They'll only have 1 point each from 2 games, and they'll be unable to catch Bar, who have 6.
In the 11th minute, Ayespire and Marama Vahirua took it well. Captain chested it down in an awkward angle. Great goal. Nice timing also with the pass. Gave Samson Corti, and the delight was on the Ayespire bench. And in the 25th minute, Ayespire's goal, a lovely cross from Raimana Luifangi, and in the far post, nice timing by Jimmy Tepa. Solomon defenders were also surprised. They thought that it was going out, sneaking in well. Put Ayespire up by 2-0.
Celebration there, the smile, happy with himself.
And in the 55th minute of play, this was the goal as Judd Moller, and sneaking through, yes, it was Judd Moller. There with that cross, not Gibson, and James Naka, which gave goalkeeper Jonathan no attempt. He looked shocked also with that goal.
So we could do with some goals in the second half of this game. So could Hekari United and AS Magenta, desperate to keep their dreams of a semi-final spot alive. I bet you he's wondering whether or not it will be AS Magenta or Hekari United who prevail this evening. And there are some hardy souls from the Solomon Islands. They're part of the Solomon Warriors delegation that are here. We certainly wish all of them well. It's fantastic that we could have the Solomon Warriors at this tournament, given everything they've been through with the flooding disaster. Don't forget, you can also follow the action on social media. there is an OFC Champions League Facebook page and also the official Oceania Football Confederation Twitter tag at OFC Football. Get amongst the conversation. Give us your views on who you think will prevail at the OFC Champions League group tournament. Tell us who you think the group winners will be, and tell us who you think the best runner-up will be. Remember, the semi-finals are played home and away. The first of those is in late April, the second in early May. Can anybody stop the Auckland City FC runaway train? 3 titles in a row for the New Zealanders, 5 overall. The last team to win the Champions League outside of New Zealand was Hekari United, ironically enough. Back in 2010, they had an aggregate win over Waitakere United. We're just moments away from a restart. 10-man Hekari United, desperate to get back into this match. If they could pull off a victory with 10 men here, it would be quite some coup. They'll believe they can do it, and why not? Fairly soon, you will also be able to download the Oceania Football Confederation app for your smartphone, available from iTunes and for Android. As we have a look at the Fiji FA officials here, Bob Kumar, the CEO of the Fiji FA, on the far right. So follow the OFC Champions League on Twitter at OFC Football, and please visit the OFC Champions League Facebook page. Photos are published there on a regular basis. There are hyperlinks to the French and English radio broadcasts. And after these games have been played out, you can watch them again in full at the OFC YouTube channel, Oceania Football, OFC Football. If you want to download the latest OFC Insider magazine again, you can go to oceaniafootball.com and have a look under the fans banner. We're just moments away from a restart. There's David Mutta encouraging his teammates. They'll need a miracle. Down to 10 players. They have to win this game to stay in the competition. A draw or a defeat will see them out early with a game to spare. But AS Magenta are the team with the numerical advantage in terms of personnel. Can they make it count in terms of goals? Jean-Paul Wakanumene, that bearded figure. Bertrand Kai, goal scorer extraordinaire. How Magenta would love him to score here tonight. Come on, he says. We're underway. Magenta have it all to do to prise open the Hekari side, desperate themselves to continue their journey in the OFC Champions League. Dokanengo. Cowdre. Magenta just want to make sure they don't get into a habit of playing at a slower pace. Could fall into Hekari's game plan. Waroi, not a bad ball. It was cut out early by Jean-Paul Reid. Cowdre. Dokanengo. Jelawed's pushed forward. Poatinda. Ball speed's crucial for Magenta. Bernard Herf, that was a terrible pass by him. He didn't really look, he hit it first time and wasn't ever an easy ball for Jean Jouanet to take control of. Just key moments like that take the pressure off Hekari. Wakanumene. Well, it's a free kick. Spotted. Defender Jean Jouanet. Well, a slow pace is going to suit Hekari. Alain Moison says it hit him in the chest. Well, he's a hard man to please at the best of times, Alain Moison, the former France international. Wanga. Hekari could get caught out here. Quality of the pass was found wanting. Baniao restarts things. That's a very good throw out by Baniao. Well, Nicholas Murray's puzzled about that decision. He might well have a case. Wakanumene. Pautinda. Hekari maintaining a very strong shape. 2 banks of 4, plus Nicholas Murray just sitting in front as a lone striker. They may well look to catch AS Magenta on the break here. If they can contain them, keep their discipline and their shape, they could be in with a shout. It just takes one moment on the slippery surface to turn a game. And they do have more attacking weapons at their disposal than Magenta. Bertrand Kai is the lone striking figure, really. Whereas Nicholas Murray, Nigel Dabinyaba and Tanito are all very, very dangerous in the top third. It's just a question of if Hekari can find themselves in that area of the pitch. Daniel Joe. Waroi. Taniela Wanga. Ball speed is key here for Hekari. And their work rate as well. Murray's made a run forward. Well, right idea, he says. Execution, perhaps not. These two teams are playing for their Champions League survival. A draw will see them both eliminated. Which of the two will break first? Cross into the box, Bertrand Kai. Benny out with a save, it's an untidy one. That will give Godfrey Baniao some confidence after coming on as a substitute goalkeeper. Well, it's a free kick, and that's a nonsense free kick for Jean-Paul Reed to concede. He didn't have to do that. The ball was going out. There was never going to be a problem. No more, says Gerald Oyaka. There's a cross from Jouanet. Great leap by Bertrand Kai. It was going wide, but Godfrey Baniao didn't take any chances. His handling wasn't great, but he got away with it. So we're in the 51st minute. Hekari 0, Magenta 0. What can the Papua New Guinea champions produce from this free kick from Tutizama Tanito? Launched in. Good jump by Dabinyaba! The 10 men have taken the lead. Nigel Dabinyaba has repaid the faith of Jerry Allen with a quality header from a quality free kick. And Hekari United have struck against the odds. Well, he looked a class act when he came on in the first match, and he's looked a class act here. Dabanyaba against UNA, the marking not good enough. And Exui couldn't get anywhere near the ball. Here's another look from the reverse angle. He found himself just a yard of space and he beat 3 Magenta players. Nigel Dabanyaba. His second OFC Champions League goal, and there may not be a more important one. AS Magenta have it all to do now. What a twist in the tail of this match. Frustration starting to boil over. Well, the goal scorer is in some discomfort. And Pierre Wajoka goes into the book. Well, frustration for the New Caledonians. Alan Morzan cannot have foreseen this unfolding. Pierre Wajoka yellow carded. Well, that will do Hekari's confidence a world of good. There's nothing like a goal to pick up your spirits. Here's Mutta. Nicholas Murray was offside. Here's a chance for Magenta. Oh, and it's just eluded Paul Poatinda. Magenta looking to bounce back straight away. They've got to. Remember, if they lose this game, they're out. Cross from Dokanengo. Away by Painga. This could be a question of Hekari holding on for dear life. They broke wide down the right through Pierre Wajoka. He spotted his target. It was Paul Poatinda. And Daniel Joe did enough to put Poatinda off. It's been a frustrating night for Magenta. Alan Morzan looks on pensively. You can tell the Magenta coach is concerned. They trail by 1-0 against 10-man Hekari. Jerry Allen's just had a speaking to by Gerald Oyaka, so the drama just ratcheting it up as the pressure continues to build on both these coaches and both these teams. Noel Cowdra. Balatonga. Korea Kupainga. Balatonga launches it clear. Have Magenta got the character to come back from this? A fair accusation might be that they've played the game at far too slow a pace, even with the extra player. They haven't made Hekari work hard enough with the 10 men. There's a throw from UNA. Heads it into the Hekari box. Away by Taniela Wanga. We're in the 57th minute. Hekari United, against all the odds, lead AS Magenta by 1-0. Tanito. Jean-Paul Reed evades a heavy tackle from Tanito. Play on, says Gerald Oyaka. Switch to the far post. Dabanyaba, the goal scorer. He's away down the right. Wakanumene's come over. He's got pace on this defender. Still going, Dabanyaba. Exui. Hekari with the 10 players still pressing every opportunity they get. Meanwhile, there's an injury on the far side. Just in front of the Hekari United dugout. It looks like Jean-Paul Reed is on the ground. Gerald Oyaka consults with Norbert Hoata. Well, he's going to his pocket, and it's a yellow card for Tanito, and I think that's for the challenge that we saw just a moment or two ago. Play transisted so swiftly, but good officiating from Hoata and Oyaka. They're staying on top of things here. He's had a very good game, the Solomons Islands official. Here is the challenge. Jean-Paul Reed just got a yard or two on Tanito, and then the youngster dived in late. There was no contact, but it was an awkward one nevertheless. Play restarts with a drop ball. Dokanengo. Kaudra. Wajoka. Now Kaudra the skipper. Not enough movement from Magenta. It's all static at the moment. Well played by Nigel Dabanyaba. He's emerging fast as man of the match. Wakanumene. Kaudra. Pace of Magenta's ball transition is far too slow. It's inviting for Hekari. It would be very easy to defend against. They need to somehow draw the Reds off their penalty area, start playing into some spaces that they're creating, suck them out and play through, but it's not happening at the moment. Here's a cross to the near post, cleared by Wanga. Wajoka, still going. Well, they're trying to walk it into the Hekari net, and it's just not going to work. They've got a very good solid structure and shape. No infringement spotted. Oh, and a chance. Has it presented itself? Poatinda with a shot, and it's a terrible shot. It's not even going to go anywhere near the goal. Godfrey Baniao is going to be highly relieved about that. So Tutuzama Tanito yellow carded. That was for the challenge on Jean-Paul Reed. So it was a centre half Jean-Paul Reed. He goes past two players. Taniela Wanga comes across. Poatinda could have left that. You could see Pierre Wajoka just appearing on the edge of the penalty area to the forefront of his screenshot. But Poatinda wasted the opportunity. Still half an hour to go. Magenta have a lot of time on their hands to try and crack this Hekari nut. But they're going to have to pick up the pace. It's been very one-dimensional and one-paced from Magenta. Maybe a reflection of the age of the side overall. Poatinda, Wajoka and Dokanengo are no spring chickens. Kaudra. This is Dokanengo. Wakanumene. Well, Hekari are just defending in a 4-5-0 at the moment. Juane's ball in, it's a good one! Oh, Bertrand Kai levels the score with a wonder header. Godfrey Banial got a hand on it. We'll have to see the replay to judge whether or not he should have done better. But that's what Bertrand Kai was brought to Fiji to do, score goals. And he scored a very important goal here. Wajoka played in Juane, the cross was perfect, the marking not so good by Hekari, and Banial couldn't prevent the ball ending up in the back of the net. AS Magenta come to life. You can see Bertrand Kai had a free run in on goal. Banial might have done better. But we're all tied up at Govan Park. Amazing stuff. The question is, can Magenta go on and finish the job? Kai looking for support. He might be good enough to go himself. Wajoka given away cheaply by Wajoka. Long range shot deflected off Warroy. Bernard Irv with a volley that goes well wide. Well, they've taken their good sweet time about hauling themselves into the match. So it's a stalemate. Remember, the result ending in a draw is enough to eliminate both of these teams at the group stage. There has to be a winner if either one of them want to go on. It'll be curtains in less than half an hour, unless one of them gets the victory. Jalawed for Dokanengo. The initiative swings back to the team in all blue. Juane. Cowdra. Daminyaba. That's Nicholas Murray, I apologise. You can see here the first touch was good. The second touch got him in front of Juane, who took the law into his own hands and chopped Murray down. Wazon. He doesn't look any happier, but some of the pressure might have eased, at least for the moment. Balatoga releases Daniel Joe down the right. He needs a target. It's a good cross. A chance! And Hekari are back in front. Can you believe it? Nicholas Murray on 65 minutes. Hekari don't know when to quit. They find themselves in front for the second time in this game, the 10 men. It was a peach of a cross from Daniel Joe. And Nicholas Murray applied the finishing touch. Daniel Joe with the perfect cross. Look at this. Swings it over right onto the head of Nicholas Murray. And Jelinek Zui didn't have a chance. Look, he comes through it, changes his mind. Murray just guides the ball into the back of the net. Wonderful stuff from the Papua New Guinea champions. It's turning into a performance of genuine character and heroism. This could well be one of the greatest OFC Champions League comebacks that we've ever seen. 10 men Hekari, who lost their goalkeeper, Leslie Carli, just before half-time to a red card, find themselves 2-1 up. against the New Caledonian champions who have superior numbers, but they haven't been able to match Hekari United for sheer heart, and you can tell there's frustration creeping in. Benjamin Bernard-Irv gets a stern talking to from Gerald Doyaka, the referee. Hekari refused to lie down. And Magenta, who looked to have clawed their way back into the game through Bertrand Kai, are going to have to do it all over again. And time is the enemy. They've got a good 23 minutes or so on the clock, but they've got to score twice. And the way they've played, there's no guarantee that they could score once at the moment. Dokanengo. He's the chief conductor for Magenta. They might not be the most mobile of sides. They've got plenty of craft and guile and experience. They need to call upon it right now. Could this be the swan song for Pierre Wajoka in the OFC Champions League? He took his bow in this competition back in 2008 with AS Mondor. Now 35 years of age. Retired from the national team 2 seasons ago. And it could be curtains on his Oceania club career. Jean Jouenet, headed clear by Tani Alawanga. David Mutta, Joachim Waroi. Tutizama Tanito against Jean-Paul Reed. Magenta struggling for answers to the question posed by Hekari. Can you match us? Wajoka. On the counter attack, shot straight into Jelen Itsui's hands. Magenta, can they come up with something? Not on that attack, they can't. Cowdra. Well, there's 7 at the back for Hekari, but there's 1 spare at the back post for Magenta. Well played by Joachim Waroi. "70 minutes gone. Hekari United 2, AS Magenta 1. Hekari down to 10 players. It looked to be going all wrong for the team coached by Jerry Allen when they lost Leslie Carlisle half an hour ago to a red card. But they've dug deep and they've produced a performance brimming with character. Can Magenta capitalise on this set piece? Over it goes. Oh! It's off the line! Magenta are looking for a goal. And I think it's been given. Pierre Wajoka has scored direct from a corner. Godfrey Benial got it all wrong, and Wajoka, the master, has levelled it up. And Hekari, who thought they may well have snuck through, are now back in trouble. Daniel Joe was underneath it. He might have even taken it off the gloves of Godfrey Baniao. Wajoka's being credited with it. And Magenta straight back into this game. And perhaps they can match Hekari for character, but they're going to have to do more. Dabanyaba giving chase. Can Hekari turn to Dabanyaba for help? He's produced 1 goal already. But as every minute ticks by, the Hekari side is drained of more and more energy. They've been playing with 10 men for a good while now. That cross goes as far as Korea Kupainga. And he's taken out. Wajoka clipped Korea Kupainga. So it's a striker on for a defender. Michel Mai is coming on, the veteran. He's replacing Piero Jaloued. So Alain Moison is going for bust. This is an aggressive move designed to get the winning goal. Every opportunity to attack is growing more and more desperate for the Papua New Guinea champions. Joachim Wairoy will take the free kick. Peter Baliatonga, Nigel Dabanyaba are all in the box. David Mutta is in there. Nicholas Muri is in there. There's 3 men in the wall. Wairoy with a shot. Oh, it's hit the crossbar. Hit the upright in the crossbar. Unbelievable. Oh, and they still haven't cleared. Shot from Murray. Now a shot from Dabanyaba. Just wide. Well, the shot was off target. It was from David Mutta, in fact. He might have even caught an opponent on the way through. But this is amazing stuff. Joachim Wairoy hit this free kick wonderfully well. Bang off the crossbar. Jelinek Zui was completely beaten. Then look at this comical defending coming up. Dokanengo. The 2 Magenta players got in trouble. Then the shot hit both of them. Then David Mutta had a go. And it flew past the upright. Now there appears to be a serious injury to one of the Magenta players. I tell you what, it's literally all happening here at Govan Park. These 2 teams are trying to save themselves from drowning and sinking to the bottom. If they draw this match, they're both out of the competition. Whoever goes on to win it lives to fight another day. Now, a reminder that the fixtures on the weekend, Bar versus Hekari in the late kickoff. That's the 13th of April, and Tawhia against Magenta. It's Jean-Paul Reid, the player who's down. He's been helped to his feet, but it looks as though he may not play any further part. That looks very serious, unfortunately. Yeah, that looks like a heavy knock. He had a good game too, Jean-Paul Reid. He was part of a reinvigorated, reconstructed AS Magenta centre-half partnership with Jean-Paul Wakanumene. So Alain Moison has to go to his bench again. Could be Loic Wakanumene. We'll bring confirmation to you of that. So what a moment to be thrown into a game with your team less than quarter of an hour away from OFC Champions League elimination It's Jeremy Dokonengo, the brother of Olivier. Oh, and he's through. Godfrey Baniao wears one in the face from Bertrand Kai. It looks as though both players have hurt each other. Well, the stretcher bearers are being called out again. I just don't believe it. How much more drama can you take? Noel Cowdra's ball over the top was intended for Bertrand Kai. Godfrey Baniao came out and then wallop. They met in the middle and the ball came out unscathed. Well, Hekari can't afford to lose another goalkeeper, surely. Paul Weaver and Ishmael Pole aren't in Fiji. They're listed in the 30-man squad for the Papua New Guinea champions. But Jerry Allen could be faced with the reality that one of his outfield players may have to go in goal. Look at the look on Jerry Allen. What am I supposed to do? He's thinking to himself. He's lost one goalkeeper. He might be losing the second goalkeeper. He's got two sitting back in Papua New Guinea. Bertrand Kai is concerned for the health of his opponent. In fact, I have to say, both teams have played this game in wonderful spirits. It's been hard but fair, and we could do with a lot more of that in this tournament. He's up on his feet. Good news for Hekari. Bertrand Kai up on his feet. Good news for Magenta. This has been an absolutely brilliant game to call. I've enjoyed every moment of it. Tutizama launches it forward. Well, it's like two men trying to drown each other. One of them will live, and maybe none of them will. 11 and a half minutes to go in normal time. Hekari United 2, AS Magenta 2. OFC Champions League Group C coming to you from Govan Park and Bar. Michelle Hamai, Poatinda. Jeremy Dokonengo cuts inside, still going. Clips in a good ball to the far post. Headed clear by Upainga. Juane. Not a bad effort, but needs to be on target. You have to test a goalkeeper in those positions. You can't, at this stage of the game, at this stage of the tournament, get within shooting range and not get it on target. The stakes are increasing with every passing second. Look at that, he just scooped it over the bar. Godfrey Baniao was hardly tested. Well, if they do draw, their only hope of progression will be as one of the best runners up. Now, given that both teams have a -2 goal difference, that would mean having to win their final game by an avalanche of goals to force the issue in other sections of this tournament. I'm not convinced, from what I've seen, that that is possible. But that could be what both of these clubs are going to be clinging on to at the final whistle. There's Waroi's ball in. Headed by Balatonga. Heads out for a throw-in for Magenta. 5 yellow cards, 1 red card. Wakanumene. Jeremy Dokonengo. Dabanyaba did well to cut it out, couldn't keep it in. Balatonga. Dabanyaba, it's out. This is Cowdra. Now Jean Juane. There's a run into the box by Bernard Herve. Oh, and that's ended up on the roof of the Hekari net. Cut out by Tani Alawanga. He's had to stretch for it. I don't think that was the most comfortable of physical actions for the Fijian veteran. There is Tani Alawanga just getting in front of Bernard Herve. He lunged for it. Those old hamstrings would have been stretched to the maximum. Oh, the attempted kick, and Bernard Herve over the bar. Yellow card. Cedric Sanso is stripped and ready for action for Magenta. Dokanengo. Is there a final twist in this roller coaster narrative of an OFC Champions League game? Wanga's header gives Magenta a throw-in and an opportunity for Alan Wazon to make the change he's been seeking to for the past couple of minutes. It's Bernard Herve who is going to leave proceedings. Cedric Sanso, can he become the hero for AS Magenta? Well, he's taking up a position at the near post. Two guesses where this throw-in's going. Sanso underneath it, can he get a touch? Corner ball. Is now the moment for AS Magenta. Out of your picture, Nicholas Murray has taken up a position on halfway. He's the lone Hekari striker. He's up against Dokanengo as well. But the main thrill is in the goal box. Oh, and that's a wasted chance. Wasted opportunity. To be frank, you don't deserve to win a game if you can't get the ball in there. Wajoka's old legs just starting to go on him maybe. Well, like two boxers who have gone 15 rounds with each other, they're starting to get tired. But that's when mistakes are made and knockout blows can be applied. Nicholas Murray. Oh, that touch let him down. He's worked his socks off this afternoon, Nicholas Murray. Five and a half minutes left of normal time. Hekari United 2, AS Magenta 2. Their Champions League campaigns could be drawing to a close. Murray. Dabinyaba is coming up into the penalty area, but Murray's gifted possession to Dokanengo. Michel Homai. Pautinda. Dokanengo. Lofts the ball forward. Korea Kupainga. Desperate defending from him. Joachim Waroi. This is the dance of the desperate. There has to be a winner. Dabinyaba. Exui takes inordinate risk coming out of his box. Now Daniel Joe. Waroi. Bertrand Kai. Now this is where Kai is very dangerous. When he's running at defences like this. Cuts in onto the right foot. Still going Bertrand Kai. Sanso. Juane, Cowdra. Wajoka, wide on the right. He's got 3 targets in the middle. Good goalkeeping by Godfrey Baniau, taking it off the head of Bertrand Kai. Godfrey Baniau pulled off a memorable moment right there. Just took it off the head of Bertrand Kai. He had to be big and brave, the substitute goalkeeper, and he was. Murray. Ball launched high into the air. Michel Hamai's under it. Sorry, Jeremy Dokanengo for his brother Olive. Splays it wide to the right. Wajoka's first time pass is not a good one. 3 minutes to go. Balatonga. Joe. Mutta. Balatonga goes long. Murray in a foot race with Wakanumene. He's taken out. This could be a yellow card for Jean-Paul Wakanumene. As soon as the ball got put over, it was always going to be Nicholas Murray who would be favoured to get ahead. Wakanumene grabbed a handful of his shirt and down Nicholas Murray went. And fortunately for Wakanumene, the substitute Jeremy Dokanengo was providing cover. Otherwise it would have been a red card. So free kick for Hekari. Jelinek Zui is going to ask for 3 men in the wall. Now Tani Alawanga has got a deadly shot from free kicks. He scored an absolute cracker for Fiji in the 2007 Pacific Games. So this is very familiar territory for him. He'll fancy the range and he'll fancy the occasion. Tani Alawanga, can he roll back the years and apply a devastating strike? A strike that will keep Hekari United's OFC Champions League hopes continuing for another week. There's a shot, corner. Took a deflection off Jean-Paul Wakanumene. Well, we're closing in on full time. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Confirmation of the yellow card for Jean-Paul Wakanumene. This has to be a quality corner from Tutizama Tanito if Hekari are to progress. It's a good ball in. Away by Sanso. Upanga's got a touch on it. Mutta. Well, a last throw of the dice for Hekari. Jean Keltak preparing to join the action. Time running out for both teams. Hekari do have this opportunity, but with Cedric Sanso standing at over 6'2", he's provided some aerial insurance for AS Magenta. Hekari have got to pack players into the box. Well, this is unusual. Nicholas Murray, who came on as a substitute, is going off. May well be the first time in OFC Champions League history that a substitute has been substituted. It's an unusual circumstance, though. They did have their goalkeeper, Leslie Carlisle, sent off in the first half. So Jean Keltak, can he write a bit of history for his club and for Papua New Guinea? Joachim Warroy, there's a shot. Hits Noel Caldra, back to Warroy, and that is awful. The 45 minutes of the second half are up. We've played the full 90. We're into time added on. Magenta, with 11 players against Hekari's 10, have produced a 4-goal thriller. Good tackle by Dabanyaba. He's played with plenty of heart tonight. There's been a few heroes out there in red shirts, but sadly it might not be enough to keep them in the competition. Their destiny may well lie outside their own hands. Wajoka gets Kai clear. Kai. Oh, so close. Bertrand Kai taking on Tani Alawanga. It was a difficult angle. Look at that. Long throw from Jimenez. Gerald Oyaka checking his watch. Magenta can't get a corner. Hekari have to break quickly. Tanito. Sanso. Michel Humai. Is there one final goal burst left in this game? Balatonga. Oh, how did he manage to get that out? Daniel Joe. Hekari pushing players forward. Waroi. Yeremi Dokanengo. They've got to press every chance they get. They can't afford to let Exui play the ball out. Poatinda. Dokanengo. Caldra. Wajoka. Kine Hamai. And there, oh, Michel Hamai. Well, he didn't have the pace, did he? Michel Hamai. Dabanyaba. Yeremi Dokanengo locks it up for Magenta. We're into the 3rd minute, nearly the 4th minute of time added on. Jimenez. Oh, what was he thinking? Good ball forward, Jean Keltak. Up against Wakanumene. Ixui. Well, it looks as though the furnace has blown cold for Hekari. There's nothing left in those tired legs. It's been a performance of great courage. They've contributed so much to this match. Can Magenta break their heart? It's a corner. So now is the moment for the New Caledonian champions. If they want to continue in this competition, they have to score from this. And if they do so, it will be the killer blow. It will eliminate Hekari and break Papua New Guinea hearts. What will happen? Wajoka's corner. And it's out. So it looks as though these two teams are going to finish all square. And if they do, they'll still be in 3rd and 4th place in their group. Well, we've now had 5 minutes of time added on. And that is to be the last action of the match. Hekari United and AS Magenta have produced an absolute classic here. And there's trouble at the final whistle. And that's a sad way to end an entertaining game. It was played in fair spirits. And frustrations spilling over. Alain Moison is getting involved. There's players from both teams. Daniel Joe got shoved over by Gela Juane of AS Magenta. Sheer drama in Bedlam at Govan Park this afternoon. It's finished Hekari United 2, AS Magenta 2. Well, there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but it doesn't look as though Hekari United or AS Magenta are going to get their hands on it. It could well be Bar after their 4-0 thrashing at Tawhao. Let's take a look back at the highlights of a wonderful match. This chance fell to Bertrand Kai. Godfrey Baniar pulled off a great save. And then Nigel Davinyaba, much against the run of play, gave the 10 men of Hekari the lead with that header. Paul Poetsinda nearly got the equaliser then. Magenta didn't have to wait too much longer. Juane set up Bertrand Kai, and Godfrey Baniao couldn't stop it. Balatonga set Daniel Joe down the right. This was a perfect cross. This was the perfect finish. Nicholas Murray giving Hekari the 2-1 lead. And Hekari must have felt that they were going to pull off the miracle result they needed. It wasn't to be. Pierre Wajoka scored direct from the corner. And Magenta were level at 2-2. It may have taken a skidding deflection off Daniel Joe, but Godfrey Baniao completely got his goalkeeping lines wrong. Then Hekari hit the crossbar from Joachim Waroy's free kick. And then there was bedlam inside the Magenta penalty area. Bernard Irv and Olivia Dokaninga got in each other's way. Nicholas Murray's shot. And then David Mutter's shot were wide. Wajoka's cross. Godfrey Baniao saved well from Bertrand Kai. Those two had a running battle all afternoon. So we can go to the post-match interviews with Jerry Allen, the coach of Hekari.
Perhaps not the result you were after this afternoon. What happened on the pitch in your opinion?
Yeah, I think today we want to win this game, but we come out with this, unlike we had a red card, but it's a simple mistake, but I don't agree with the referee's decision.
That red card came, I guess, at a crucial time for your side, but they managed to rally and they still kept themselves in the game. Would you agree?
Yeah, we agree because 10 vs 11 sometimes it's impossible, but the boys stick to the plan and we must play defense because we had one out. But the boys played well. Even though we had 10 men, we managed to score another goal. Then they come back and score again.
And one last match for you in this competition. Approaching it how?
Yes, I think we'll go back and refocus and we'll put our mind straight for Bar. When we play against Bar, we have nothing to lose. We'll give everything.
Thank you, Jerry.
Alan Wazon, the coach of AS Magenta, is going to give his post-match views with Jacqueline Tranvan, and more than likely in French.
Alain, peut-être pas le résultat que vous avez cherché aujourd'hui.
Évidemment non, je suis déçu disons, du résultat, mais surtout de la manière, quoi. On a fait preuve de beaucoup de naïveté sur les deux buts. Voilà, donc quand on joue à ce niveau-là, ce sont des actions qu'on ne doit pas voir, et malheureusement avec mon équipe on le voit.
Et un dernier match pour vous approche comment?
Et on va essayer de le gagner évidemment pour finir deuxième de la poule. Je pense que probablement battra Hekari, donc nous on va essayer de battre Tafea pour finir deuxième de la poule, mais malheureusement même en gagnant ça ne suffira pas pour espérer se qualifier pour les demi-finales.
Merci beaucoup.
So let's relive those 4 goals that were scored today. Nigel Davinyaba with a powerful header. Great ball in by Tanito. He found himself a yard or two, Davinyaba. Made sure it was on target. And the next stop was the back of the net. Magenta went to be outdone. They finally got their composure together. Great ball in by Juane. Good header from Bertrand Kai. Godfrey Baniao couldn't deflect it out of harm's way. Then Balatonga combined with Daniel Joe to give Hekari the lead again. Joe's cross was inch perfect, and Nicholas Murray's header was excellent. Jean-Paul Reid couldn't get close enough to Murray to affect his target, and Hekari thought that they were on their way. And then Pierre Wajoka, straight from the corner, put the ball in the back of the net and squared the game up. So Hekari have drawn 2-2 with AS Magenta. I'm Gordon Watson. I've been your commentator this afternoon, and on behalf of everybody connected with OFC TV, we hope you enjoyed this OFC Champions League action. Join us again tomorrow for more of the same. Wherever you are, good night, and we'll see you again soon.